Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Armchair Pundits. If you've been watching, you will know that we've been doing keep, sell, loan, or buy. This week, we've moved on to the Arsenal edition, and we have two Arsenal fans. We've got Daniel, we've got Bevan. How you guys doing?
That's good, man. All
Yeah, I'm
good.
good.
Thanks for having me.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
great. Thank you.
So, without any further ado, we start with you, Bevan. Aaron Ramsdale, what are you doing with him?
You know what? He would be a good backup, but I don't think he's gonna want to be a number two goalie. He's gonna want to go somewhere. If you can get money for him, decent money, I say we just sell him. To me, he's a confidence player, and his confidence is kind of shot at the minute. So I don't. I think it'd be probably best to sell him and try and get some money in from him. Yeah, because the keeper merry-go-round can't keep happening. To be honest, I think you should get rid of him.
Cool. Daniel?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'd sell him. I think Reyes proved last season that he's adequate. He's got a certain skill set that is better than Ramsdale's. Obviously, we love Ramsdale's enthusiasm and all that, and that kind of little interactions with the fans during the game. But I think ultimately, looking at the skill set alone, Reyes obviously a superior keeper. I'm not a fan of Reyes' height. I wish he was a couple of inches taller. But ultimately, I would sell Ramsdale. Sorry to bring in some cash to reinvest in the squad. There's no point having a keeper on the bench that's worth 30 or 40 or 50 plus million.
50. Hey!
I don't know.
In this market, you never know.
He's English and his contract his contract is intact. So
Fair.
yeah, English tax.
Okay. David Raya. Daniel, David Raya.
It's one word: keep.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
Bevan?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, keep. I don't think signing another keeper, I think it's just Arteta's ruthless, but be pushing it too far to try and bring in another keeper this season.
But technically, you haven't bought him yet, have you? To be fair, have you? Have you paid now? Have you paid the 27?
I thought they tried some crazy stuff when we was going to play Brentford about.
Oh yeah, before Christmas.
Before Christmas,
Yeah.
as we're going to play Brentford, they said they did some Bandulu business. Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, I remember.
Like he was going to play in the game or something like that. Yeah,
it's never going to happen. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think it's inevitable, really.
Yeah. Okay, cool. One that I don't know much about, Carl Hein. Is that how you say it? Heen?
Yeah.
Dan? What do you think, Daniel?
I would say he's just signed a new contract. He's young. For Arteta to want to and Edu to want to lock him into a new contract, they must have seen something in him. That's all I can say. I haven't seen too much.
You loaning him or you keeping him at the club? Loan's an option.
I think Ramsdale goes. We sign a stronger number two, and he either goes on loan or he just learns because he's only young.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. To be honest, that makes sense. I agree with that.
Okay, we'll move on to the much talked about. I've never heard of a player to get so much hype from pre-season, and what was it? Charity Shield or Europe? He was the best since he came in, boy. And your season was done because you got injured. What's going on? Julian Timber.
I think we should keep Julian Timber. To be honest, from the 35 minutes or 45 minutes that we saw of him, he looked quite good. He looked like there's a player in there. He can do a job. Play left back, right back. Good on the ball. So I say we keep him. Doesn't make sense selling him. Okay, he had a bad injury, but this season he could come good. So I'm all for keeping Julian Timber.
Cool.
Yeah, keep by all means. I was at the Charity Shield match, Community Shield match, almost a year ago versus Man City. The guy is so classy. I would say I'd go as far as to say he's going to end up being one of the most technically gifted guys on the ball with his position. He's so smart. Very rarely loses the ball. Very good in possession. Makes good choices. Other than Odegaard, I would go out on a limb and say probably technically he's going to turn out to be one of the most secure players. I don't mean like step overs. I'm not talking about that. I just mean technically sound.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to his development. He's still only young as well. So yeah, by all means, keep long contracts. Chelsea business, 8-year contract, man.
Oh wow.
Yep.
8.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm
We
just saying.
should have got him one of them Klarna deals too.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next one. Ben White.
That to me, innit? Yeah, keep.
Yeah.
He's come on massively. I thought he was all right when he first come. Even up until the end of the 23-24 season, I thought he was all right. But last season, he's gone to another level. I must say, I'm really happy with him. Prefer him as a fullback as opposed to a centre back. And there's a real player there. The way him and Saka combined, it's a shame that whatever's happened with England has happened, because I think they will be tearing it up for England, to be honest, as they do for the club. But it'd be interesting to see, like, with Timber now, what happens, because people are saying, "Oh, Timber's going to be," but remember, Timber's first and foremost a right back, so it'd be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, keep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Ben White. Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer. You got to keep him. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, if it's simple, just say yeah.
Yeah. He's solid. You know what I mean? I think you could have more footballers like him. Doesn't care about football, but great. No nonsense. Yeah, keep him. Has to stay.
Gabriel.
Yeah, I think you got to keep Gabriel. Last season he proved, like, when he first came, he was a bit raw and he did make mistakes and stuff like that. But then last season he was up for all the dogfights and kept a lot in big games. He kept players quiet, and he was up for the challenge, up to bully man. And in some games he was spoken about more than Saliba. So you got to keep Gabriel.
I was going to say,
yeah,
because some people said that he had a better season than Saliba generally.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I think with Saliba, because he's so kind of silky, nonchalant, and easy on the eye. He doesn't really make mistakes. He can just control things. It's like, so when Gabriel is doing all the dog work and stuff like that, it's gonna look better on the eye, kind of thing. Whereas Saliba's just there to just kind of mop things up and clean things up, and so it may appear that he had a better season, but I think it could be one of those situations. This might sound kind of disparaging, but when you get most improved player, really mean that
that's fair enough.
Last season you were garbage. I'm not saying it was garbage, but you know what I mean.
He's much improved. He is much improved.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, keep. I agree with you, Bev. Bevan, most improved player last season for me. Him and Ben White, the two most improved players coming from the season before. Yeah, keep, no doubt.
Okay. This one, I'm sure it will be a short answer. Saliba.
Let's keep next.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about that one too much.
Cool. Kivior?
Kivior he is raw. I personally I would keep him. We have to see what he does this season. He played well in certain games last season, and he's still young. And I think if you kind of send him on loan, it kind of, what kind of backup do we have? And then that means signing a centre back, or if there is any injuries, you got to play like Tomiyasu and Ben White at centre back. I'd want to see what happens with Kivior and how we can develop him going forward. So I'd say keep him, see what happens. Carling cut runouts and stuff like that. I think it'd be good.
Okay, then.
Yeah, keep. Good squad player. You always need a squad player to come in, someone who's happy to, just be part of the squad and play. Maybe start around 20 to 30% of games. You're going to need someone to come in. You can play centre back, you can play left back. So yeah, keep.
Okay, Tomiyasu.
Keep. Absolutely, yeah. unfortunate last season. Well, last season a bit actually with injuries, but again, he's probably a bit more advanced than Kyrgios. No, he definitely is a bit more advanced than Kyrgios in terms of his like value to the squad.
Mm.
I just feel like that breakthrough season that he had was interrupted by the injury, and then obviously subsequent to that, Ben White's form has kind of smashed it out of the ground. So he's good competition to have, but if you're talking about right back, Ben White has got to be ahead of him next season.
Yeah, I agree. I say keep him. He's like a solid 6 out of 10 player, 6.5 out of 10. You know he's going to be solid every week. He's going to give you that kind of performance, and I think in a team you need those kind of players that he's going to put in a solid performance.
Okay, 2 more defenders. Nuno Tavares.
He's got. I don't see keeping Nuno Tavares.
But are you selling or are you loaning? If you're not keeping him at the club, then
I personally, I think sell him. I don't know what a loan's going to do for him. To be honest, I'm sure going forward he's good, but
defensively.
I mean defensively, liability. I don't. Yeah, I would see what we can get for Nuno Tavares, and I'd sell. He's not. I don't think he doesn't get anywhere near the team, to be honest. And I don't know if going on loan he's going to improve him next season. That's my opinion.
Okay. Daniel?
That easy one. So get out the club. This is not good enough. Some very high profile errors that he made.
Mm. I
Um,
remember the Liverpool one. That was nice.
Oh gosh, some extremely
That was nice.
high profile. He's one of the. I'm a season ticket holder at Arsenal, and he's one of the most frustrating players I've ever watched. Yeah, going forward, within 30, 40 yards of the opposition's penalty area, yeah, he's easy on the eye, but that's not his job. His first job is as a defender, and it's just terrible. I don't like him. Whatever we can get for him, I'll take it and just get him moved on.
Okay.
Shaky.
One I missed off, but Kieran Tierney. I forget that he's on loan, isn't he?
Yeah. I would probably loan him out because he's going to have to prove to a potential buyer that he can stay fit. So I don't think he's going to have any.
He's got injured, as you say that. He got injured last week in the Euros.
He's just done his hammy apparently. So if it's a top tier, then he's looking at I think it's about 4 weeks or so.
Okay.
Obviously, that's going to mash up his pre-season prep and all that. Yeah, so I think realistically, loan him out and then try and sell him in January or next year, summer.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think if we try and sell him this season, we'll probably get like 2 pennies in a chicken. So I don't really. Yeah, I think especially with his injury record and stuff like that. As Daniel said, loan him out and see if he can come good and do well in that team, and then we'll try and get some money for him.
Okay, on to the midfielders. Thomas Partey.
Well, so that's a difficult one because when he came in, seeing him Declan Rice play together, you would say to keep him, but then they're saying that there's like 1 year left on his deal, and he's on big money, and his injury record. Well, we had him for 9 games last season, so he's when he does play, he's good, but then how reliable is he? If they can get like 25 mil for him, I would say sell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree. A fit and firing Thomas Partey is unplayable on his day. But I think you're right, Bevan. The injuries have been killing us the last 2 seasons. It's funny because when he was in Spain, he had an impeccable record, never really injured at all. But yeah, I like him as a player, and I wish if he was more available, I would say keep. But I think we have to look to cut our losses. Really, he's showing that his fitness is not reliable, especially in the second half of the season. He's very brittle. So unfortunately, I would sell. Maybe he might go back to Spain or Italy, where the intensity is not as bad as a Premier League. But yeah, that one would pay me, but I would say it probably makes financial sense to let go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another easy one, I'm sure. Bukayo Saka.
There's
Yeah,
no question there.
it's
Let's
just
go.
yeah. It's got
all in unison.
yeah, he's got to stay.
And obviously another easy one. Odegaard.
Yeah, no, there's you can't replace him. Those players that don't come like that, so you got to keep Odegaard.
Okay. Smith Rowe.
Oh wait, Odegaard.
Odegaard. Oh, wait. Oh,
I
sorry.
was going to say
Go on.
something. I wasn't going to say sell or loan, but his output the season before was better. Um, if you check his assists, he registered his first home assist quite late in the season. So his goals and assists were not as good as the season before. But then again, also not season gone, the one before, he was the most substituted captain in the Premier League as well. He was always getting taken off. So I think he's improved his importance to the team last season with his pressing and stuff like that. That's like he's the best presser in the team. But I would like to see him rediscover that the goal scoring and the assist touch.
Okay.
Yeah, someone like him, I'm looking for him
Yeah.
to do Ozil numbers when it comes to assists. To be honest,
That's fair. That's fair. So Saka. Not Saka. Sorry. Emma Smith Rowe.
yeah, a lot of debate about this one, and I'm firm with what I'm saying. The kid's got to stay. We've got to find a way to get him back to fitness, back to form. He's a Haaland graduate, man. People are very short sighted. What he was doing two seasons ago, him and Saka. It was him and Saka. In fact, he was ahead of Saka for much of the early period. I don't know why a lot of people are saying, "I'll get rid of him. We can't find a space for him," and blah blah blah. No, he needs to stay and learn to compete, and learn to up your game. Look at Phil Foden. Phil Foden's only recently become a mainstay in the Man City team, and he's nearly 25. Pep hasn't always just thrust him in. Do you know what I mean? He's had some top players ahead of him, Bernardo, De Bruyne, and others. So I would say be patient with Smith Rowe. He's 23 years old. Give him another year or two. So keep.
I thought we was going to be in disagreement because I agree. I think we should keep Smith Rowe. I think he did get injured and he didn't find a way into his team. He looked like he put on a bit of weight. It got a bit heavy, and I think he can carry the ball. He can drive. I think that there is a player in there, and the season that he was having before, I think you got to give him one more season. Especially he just come off an injury. I think you got to give him one more season or two, as Daniel said, and then take it forward from there. Yeah. So I agree.
Okay. Jorginho.
Jorginho to me, he's a good squaddy. He can do stuff, but then sometimes I feel like there's certain games he's good in, but I think that sometimes the game's passing him by. I think the other day Italy against Spain, and I think he got hooked at half time, and he was kind of anonymous. So if you're gonna get rid of Partey, if we do need to sign someone else at a push, I might say keep him for one more season as a squad player.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a disagreement there, but I think I agree with Bevan. Yeah, because I would say, keep as a squad player. Obviously, he's got a good influence as a senior player in the squad. He's got a lot of experience. He's won loads of stuff. Won the Euros. He's won Champions League and whatnot. However, I am concerned about him when we play against really powerful midfields. I think he can get overrun, and he's not really got the legs on that as well. So he can be a liability in them kind of games. And as well, there's a couple of errors he made last season that I haven't erased out of my memory, particularly the one against Tottenham when we were 2-1 up.
Yeah. Criminal.
Yeah, it was criminal. Having just gone 2-1 up, and then he did that. There was another one.
Did
but I can't remember what
did
it
he
was.
slip or something, or he just gave the ball away in the middle of the park and they
He
countered?
gave it was a sloppy pass and he gave the ball away and they
yeah.
countered. Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
Son in it. Son just ran through.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
So
Again,
go
yeah.
on.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say against the lesser teams, he can quarterback the team,
Yeah.
and if there's no powerful midfielder in there, he's gonna have a field day just spraying balls and stuff like that. So I would say, for that reason, keep him as a squad player, and he would be good. You know, Champions League games you might want to give. If there's a game before the Champions League game, you might want to give certain players a rest, and he can play those kind of games, or against so-called lesser teams. I would say to keep him for that.
I would have thought it'd be no brainer. Just experience in general. You got a young squad in it.
Yeah,
Or is the experience not enough? Does he not bring enough of that for you guys?
Would you have Henderson back? Put it that way.
To be honest, I didn't actually want Henderson to leave in the first place because
Okay.
my problem was I thought we lost too much experience on one go because of the people we lost at that time. If the person's happy, for me, the person's happy to take a backward step and stay within the squad and keep their role, know their role, then fine, innit? That's why I see him as a kind of guy that will be happy not to play every single game, but to be a squaddy and show his experience. But yeah, you both should keep anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Vieira.
It's you in it, Bevan.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Vieira. I saw glimpses. I don't know. I don't know how he fits into this team. To be honest, is this his second year, or is
It's
last
gonna be
year was
his third.
Second,
his third? His third year.
he's coming to his third year. Yeah, coming to his third year.
I might say I'd probably say to sell him. You know, I'd probably say to sell Vieira. I'm not sure he's gonna. I'm not sure what he's gonna. I don't know how much better he's gonna get, and we kind of need players to hit the ground kind of running. So that's my opinion.
How old is he again? Let me have a look. Fabio Vieira.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. Your view, then? You?
Yeah, he's 24. Just gone 24.
He's 24, yeah.
For me, I would. I would sell. The reason why, he's 2 years into a 5-year contract. We haven't seen anything really of him to impress us. Well, me, I speak for myself. I've not seen anything. He's showed it in flashes, but nothing to make me say, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So he's got 3 years left on the contract. I think it's the best time to sell him now to recoup as much as possible of the 40 million or so that we paid. Like Bevan said, I'm not sure where he fits at all. And he's too lightweight for me. Man needs to eat some dumpling and banana and just some pounded yam and stuff.
Yeah. Get in the weight room too.
Yeah.
I know, he looks like he's just doing cardio.
Okay. In unison again. Zinchenko.
Zinny, I would keep, but as a squad player, not as a starter at all. However, I'm aware that we're going to be quite loaded with left-sided players. And if it was between him and Kiwior, I'd rather let Kiwior go. But it doesn't mean that he's a better player than Kiwior. It just means that he can offer something a bit more in terms of different positions he can play, and different types of games where he could be effective, with the inverted left back or even in the midfield role. But I do believe one of the left-sided players is going to go. I don't know which one. I don't think we can keep all of them. But for me, I would keep him, but not as a regular star. Not as a regular star. How it basically was at the end of last season. He just came on certain games and that. Yeah.
How old is Zinchenko now?
I'll have a look for you. Say what you're gonna say. I'll have a look for you.
Yeah, Zinchenko. It was a tough one for Zinchenko because there were times where
27.
27. He did. There, there were times in the season before he cost us, and then there were times last season when he cost us in games as well. I know that he's important, and I know that he kind of gets the team G'd up. So I mean, if we keep him, I'd keep him, but I'd want to maybe it might be depends what he does this season. But yeah, keep him for this season. It's good. I know he's good to have around for experience and stuff like that. But sometimes when there were moments when it seems like his confidence was absolutely gone, and I'm not sure how if he get like what if he's going to get that back. But he does seem to be good around the team, so keep him for this season.
Okay, does it change either of your minds knowing that his contract runs out in 2026?
I was just about to say, yeah.
So if you keep him this year, he's going into one more year. Would you be more inclined to sell him this summer, knowing that you can actually get some money off him
I
or
would,
out of him?
Yeah, I would. If I'm totally honest.
So does that change? So you keeping or selling him then, Daniel, knowing that he's got 2 years left?
With 2 years left, normally, like how Edu and Arteta are, they're militant with the contracts. They're not letting that kind of Wenger and Emery era of letting players run down their contract. That's not happening anymore. So he won't. I don't believe he'll be allowed to even get to the 1 year. He'll either have to sign an extension or they'll get rid. I believe.
Does it change your mind, Bevan? Are you keeping or selling him? As we sit here now,
I wouldn't.
There's no
as we sit here
contract
now,
on the table. There's no contract on the table. So
I don't know if I'd let him run down his contract. I don't know if we'd let him run down his contract and let him go on a free. It would kind of that seemed like the what we do in the past, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't. If we can't sign into a new deal, then I would say sell him this season.
okay,
That's me personally.
cool. Lukonga.
I would. I'd give him one more loan. I don't think he's going to get into the team. I'd give him one more loan and see what he does. There were moments. I
Contract
think
also runs out 2026.
20. Oh, okay.
So he's got 2 years left as well. So you loan him, you come back with 1 year left.
Give his gift. I got then it's sell the Conga. Personally,
Daniel?
I think he was.
Yeah, sorry.
easy one for me.
Don't let me cut you off. Sorry, go on. My
I
bad.
was like, yeah, easy one for me. So I've never liked him. I don't like him as a player at all.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like him. He does. He's just. I didn't like him. Didn't fit into. He just didn't seem to fit into. That was one of the signings from that stupid from that City era when they signed some of those City players. I don't know why we were struggling. We was in the Europa League and all that. We were limited on what we could do. But I just don't like him. No.
Okay. Declan Rice is simple. They're both selling him, so Liverpool can go and buy him.
Well,
okay, right.
No, yeah.
Yes, that's an easy keep.
Yeah, that's an easy keep.
Question: Who was he your player of the year, or was it Saliba?
I think it was Declan Rice. To be honest,
Okay.
I think he kind of he just showed us up, gave us different options, and was he was like solid. Came in some big goals and big minutes in big games. So yeah, I personally think he was Declan Rice.
Same question to you, Daniel.
Yeah, keep Declan. Obviously, was he my player of the season? Yeah, I think so. On the balance, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
to me,
cool.
if I'm honest, I don't think Odegaard deserved it. If I'm honest, I think he was third. I think it's between Rice and Saliba. If I'm honest.
Okay. And last midfielder, Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah, good prospects. I've seen a couple of games of this kid. Looks really good. He's only 16, 17. He's built like a tank. Looks really strong. Good future ahead of him. I'm just hoping that he keeps his his focus. Unlike Chido, who we'll discuss later. I hope he keeps his focus. I hope he's got good people around him advising him. If you look at Arsenal, the trajectory that we're on, we're using a lot of youth. When you look at people like Saka, Smith Rowe, and Ketia, and then some of the other ones that are going to come through, it's a place to be. It's a good project. So I hope he can really stick around for the next 2 years and see how he develops.
Are you loaning or are you keeping?
Keep him around the squad, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I agree. Keep him around the squad. I think give him, if he can get a game in some of the like early rounds of the Carling Cup and stuff like that, or Carabao Cup, whatever it's called. Then yeah, keep him and then see if he can kind of get, because I think when he came on, he's a good player. He seems to be a good player, and they got a lot of hope for him. So I say keep him.
I think he's your youngest ever player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Impressive. Okay. Hopefully he chooses Nigeria and tells England to stay away. Okay, Gabby Jesus. Go on, Bevan. Take it away.
I take it. This is Gabby Jesus is he's frustrating because there is a player in there and he is good. Just doesn't score enough goals, and his injuries are crazy. This might sound like a bad take, but I might sell him and see if we can get a striker that can score goals.
That's fair enough. I'll let you, because obviously you have to give me some players you might want to sign. So if you haven't thought of one now, think of a striker for later on in the show that you might want to replace him with. Daniel?
Yeah, as Bevan said, he hasn't delivered enough, and I know the injuries has been part of that. He made a comment recently around his lack of goal scoring, and he basically fobbed it off by saying, kind of,
he's not a goal scorer,
basically,
right?
Basically,
I'm not a goal scorer.
That really peed me off, man.
That's awful.
Because when he was in Brazil, he was banging goals left, right, and centre before he came to City. And even in the City team, he wasn't playing often, but his ratio of game minutes to goals was still quite decent. So I don't know if it's the system or whatever it is here. 3 years left on the contract now. Injury prone. If someone came with a good offer, I'd be tempted to give it a listen.
He's valued at 65 or 55 or 50 million. Sorry, 60 million pounds.
Yeah.
What would you say is a sensible offer?
As long as we get back what we bought him for, he hasn't become a better player, so I don't think we could realistically say we want more.
Fair enough.
He hasn't become a better player at all. The same. In fact, arguably he's worse because he's more injury prone and his goal to minutes ratio has decreased.
The craziest thing is, when he first came to Arsenal, a guy I worked with said, "Oh, he's going to get this many goals," and I said to him, "I bet you that he doesn't get more than 15 goals." I know he got injured, but he didn't get the 15 goals. And he started off good, and then hard worker and all that kind of stuff. But Robbie Savage was a hard worker.
It's a poor man's Firmino. Let's just get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, Martinelli. He tailed off towards the end of the season. got taken over by Trossard.
Yeah, Martinelli needs to fight for his place.
Mm.
I don't think you can. I don't think what happened towards the end of last season. I don't think that's enough to say to sell him. Not what he did for the season before that. I think you got there is a player in Martinelli, and he's just got to fight for his place. He's in the team that's trying to win the league or win a Champions League. So you, yeah, Martinelli's got to stay and he's got to fight for his place. As far as I'm concerned, he's a good player. So I'd say keep Martinelli.
Yeah, I'd say keep. I think we have to remember this is a guy who we signed from, what is it, the fourth or fifth tier of Brazilian football. Literally, someone just
Yeah.
spotted him and took a chance. Was it 2 million or something like that, Bevan?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
Something like that. So about 2 million quid. About 4 or 5 years ago now. So
5 mil.
is it
5 million
5
from
million euros?
Utuano, but it's 7 million euros, which is probably about £5 million.
Yeah, so dead cheap.
So Utuano, something like that. Never, I can't remember. I've never heard of them. Utuano.
Considering what he's done and how he's improved from playing, that low tier football in Brazil, which is probably still better than most of our Sunday league football, or championship football, sorry, over here, to be honest. But I'm happy for him. Yes, he did tail off last season, but I think I can forgive him for that. Given how he did so well the season before and the fact that he's still young. So I'm keeping him.
And I think he came back from a really bad injury, and I don't think you can just write a player off after one half of a bad season or the last couple of months of a bad season. So I think you got to keep Martinelli and have him fight for his place in a team that's trying to win stuff.
Cool. Eddie Nketiah.
He's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go.
He's holding up space in the squad. The thing is, he's a valuable asset. He'll do well at like a Fulham, a Palace,
Everton.
Palace now because Mateta's hot at the world. Last season he was hot, but somewhere like Fulham or Everton, I don't know. I'm not sure where, but there's a player there, but it's just not for us. We don't really need a static kind of guy that only really plays in and around.
Fox in the box.
Yeah, we don't need that. The football's moved on a lot from that kind of thing. I think we just don't play that way. So unfortunately, I think I like him in the fact that he's a graduate. But I think he's somebody who can generate money that we can reinvest in the squad. So I'd sell him.
Yeah, I'd sell him. I think at that time when Jesus got injured, he kind of had his chance to prove if he could do it or not. And then last season, he still had his chances to prove if he could score before they decided to go with Kai Havertz up front, and he didn't take it. As Daniel said, there could be a player in there for a team kind of pushing for that Europa League and stuff like that, but I don't think he's good enough for us and what we're trying to do.
Okay, cool. Trossard.
I for what he did for us for the last year and a half, he was a bargain. I think you keep Trossard in and around the team. He came up big in some games, some big games, where he scored the goal against Man United
and Liverpool, the third goal against Liverpool.
Yeah, came up big in some.
It was clutch for you guys,
in some big moments, in some big games.
At the end,
so yeah. So I would keep Trossard.
Daniel?
Yeah, I would say keep, but time to a new deal because he's only got 2 years left, and you have to remember, he's going to be 30 pretty soon. Excuse me. I think the end of this year he's
December 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 30 at the end of this year. So by the time the end of his contract comes, he'll be what? 32, 31, 32. Yeah, 32 going 33. So realistically, I think if we could have signed Trossard the season before he had that wicked season for Brighton, no, immediately after he had that wicked season for Brighton, if we had got him then, when he probably would have been about 26, it would have been perfect. But nevertheless, he came to us when he was 27, going 28, or just gone 28. Yeah. So it's a hard one, but I don't see a long-term future for him. I think he is somebody who's coming in for a couple of years whilst we source younger. It's to cover for Martin. It's to help Martinelli, basically.
Yeah.
I think ultimately.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you do need players that are a bit older in a team to kind of experience and things like that. So I think he's a good player to keep around at that age. So even if it was a case that we got rid of him in a couple of years' time and stuff like that, I think he would have proved his worth based on the year and a half that we have had him.
He got 17 goals this season. That's not a bad haul.
That's
wicked.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what
give him a
Mocha.
year extension, and then try and I think a big thing for Arsenal is with the profit and sustainability stuff is we've got to be much more clever with it. So now I'm trying to think outside of just thinking about the player, and I think a team like Liverpool have got that really on lock. Like you sell players at the right time, even though it hurts to lose certain players, but when they're over 30 or when they're 30 or whatever, and they want to earn more money. Like, are you going to give them another 3-year, 4-year contract at the age of 30, 31? You know what I mean? Maybe not. So I'm thinking about the long-term future of the club. We want to get the best younger signings for people like Saka and Saliba to commit their long-term future. If they see us not messing up with our retention of players, and they're going to say, you know what, I'm out of it. I don't really want that. So yeah, got to get the finances in order.
Yeah,
Reece Nelson.
I think I think that Reece Nelson's time is up. I mean, Saka played every game last. Unless Saka's injured, he plays every single game. There's no. It's like Reece Nelson isn't even challenging him for a spot. So he's at this moment in time, he's a squad player, and he's not even. Yeah, he's not pushing for a place on the team. If you get a player like, as we just spoke about, Trossard coming into the team and he's challenging Martinelli for a place where this guy has been here and he's not challenging or pushing anyone to play in the team. There were times when Saka was injured last season and it was clear that he was injured and he still didn't want to play Reece Nelson. I think he might be good for someone else, but I don't think he's it for us. So I think it's time for Reece to go.
Yeah, agreed. It's time to go, man. He got an extension on the back of that goal of the season against Brentford. And to be fair, he contributed a few telling goals and assists in our title chasing, the first title chasing season. So I think he deserved that extra year, to be honest. But ultimately, I think you're right, Bevan. I don't think Arteta trusts him enough to give him enough minutes to really try and stake a claim. Saka was clearly mashed up for much of last season, and he still continued and didn't give him a chance. So for me, that right hand side is an area of development, and we'll talk about that afterwards. So yeah, I think in all fairness to Reece, Haaland graduate again, but I think for the sake of him and his career, it's time for him to move on now. And again, he's English and he's got decent. The contract is decent, 2 or 3 years, I believe. So it's the time.
Yeah, 2027 with an extra year extension.
That's
that can
it.
be
So
activated.
You definitely can get 20 mil or so, something like that, and reinvest it back into the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Last two. Kai Havertz is probably going to be easy.
Yeah, keep.
I
Yeah.
think
I like him
you
in
got.
that centre forward role. I don't like him in the 8. He's all right, but
No,
I prefer him in that centre forward role. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he develops next season. To be honest, so yeah, keep.
yeah, I think you got to keep Kai Havertz. Seems like he's grown in confidence as the season came on, and I think he came he did do the hard work, and he's kind of playing that kind of false nine role, but also popping up with big goals in big games. So yeah, you keep Kai.
Okay, good. And the last player, a youngster who Bayern Munich are trying to steal from you, who's scored a ridiculous amount of goals for the youth. Chido Martin Obi, another one who I hope chooses Nigeria. What are you guys doing? He's what? How is he? 16? 17? Is he someone that you want around the squad? Is he someone you want to loan out? Because obviously you don't want to lose him to Bayern.
Uh, I'll let you go with this one, Daniel.
Well, first of all, he's 16, so he can't be loaned.
16.
Yeah,
Damn.
can't be loaned until he's signed full professional terms at 17. The boy is a phenomenon. He's 16 years old. He's 6'2/6'3" already. Big broad shoulders, big lad, frighteningly quick, amazingly good finisher. The boy's got a seriously good future ahead of him. I'm annoyed that he's had his head turned allegedly by Bayern, and there's other clubs apparently as well. He's broken a load of records in the Arsenal academy. Yeah, it's not someone I'd want to be losing, because I think this kid, in a couple of years' time, is gonna be good. Obviously, I'm speaking on hypothetically in it, but I want to keep him around the squad, keep him around good influences like Odegaard, Saka. You know what I mean? Hopefully, they can have a chat to him and convince him. Look, give it 2-3 years and see how Arsenal develop him. We're going places. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same view.
I can't argue that. You can't argue that. If you got guy breaking records in the youth team and stuff like that, you got to keep him around the squad for as long as possible and see what happens when he goes up to the next level.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Well, it's an interesting one. I don't think you guys want to loan anybody, boy. So you're either keeping them or you're getting rid of them. It's just no development outside of the club. Has to stay inside, yeah?
Yeah, man.
But that's fair enough. Okay. As we normally do, we'll finish off with guys who you would like to see coming in. Doesn't have to be loads. You might only want one or two. Because as I said, you're not getting rid of many. Or so you're keeping quite a lot of your squad, which is fair enough. You've got a strong squad. So I think Daniel has a few more. So we'll go with you, Daniel.
All right. On my list, innit? Hold on 1 second. These guys that we want to sign.
Yeah, so guys that you would want to sign this summer. So not future. Guys you want to bring into this window.
Now. Yeah. I think number one priority for me is get support for Saka. We've been saying this for a while now, Arsenal fans, for a couple of years now. We need support for Saka. The guy's going to end up getting burnt out and get clattered with a big injury. He's got to have adequate support on that right, just like how Martinelli has Trossard. Look how Trossard has stepped in when Martinelli was injured and playing poor. We need the same on the other side. Absolutely.
Who do you want? That's the question.
I'm looking at if I had my ideal, I would go for Elise, but apparently he's going Bayern.
No, yeah, it's done. That's more or less a done deal. He's going Bayern.
But he has his injury problems. But if not him, I do like Nico Williams. But again, these are all high profile. He's a high profile player that's going to cost a lot of money. Arsenal going to smash.
He's got a buyout clause. I think his buyout clause go ahead.
45 for his buyout clause.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm doing
But bear in mind,
everybody's good at him.
Yeah, and because of where he is, he's on 200k already now. So you sign him, he's not going to drop wages. So he's really earning 200k.
Atletico, isn't it?
Yeah, because of their laws, and there's no sign-on fee, and they're all academy, innit? So they get money.
Yeah.
They don't buy anyone, so they can give people long contracts. So apparently, he's on 200k a week. So does that fit your wage bill if you wanted to
No,
get
I
him?
saw that. I saw that if we signed him, it would upset some sort of squad. Apparently,
Bevan, is there anyone to replace Saka?
I don't know if there's anyone to replace Saka. To be honest.
Cannot replace, but someone as
Yeah,
backup.
no, I know someone as backup. I'm struggling. I mean, to be honest with you, like Daniel said, I was thinking Nico Williams, but that's just gonna upset the apple cart. So I don't someone in mind. That's kind of it would have to be somebody that is I don't. I didn't really have anyone else in mind. I know we need to get somebody. I just didn't. I can't. I don't want to just say somebody and then
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that.
Fair enough. Any other
like,
positions? Yeah, go on, Daniel.
Sorry?
I like Pedro Neto at Wolves.
Yeah,
but I don't think he plays on the right. I think he plays on the left, innit?
Yeah.
He can do both though.
He can do both, innit? Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
he can
him.
do both.
I really like him. Good player. Injury prone.
You worried about? Like I say, you worried about injuries? He gets a big injury every season.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. Any other players that either you would want? Because I think striker must be an option for you guys. Because I mean, must be someone out there.
Well, so you know what? I mean, I know that he's kind of injury prone, but I would maybe someone like Isak. You know, he's going to score goals. The only problem is he does look a bit frail and he's a bit lightweight, but he would score a lot of goals. And Newcastle have got their FFP problems. So
yeah, agreed. Stylistically, Isak for me. I know there's been talk about Osimhen. I don't want Osimhen if I'm honest. And there was talk about Tony. I don't want Tony. Sesko, I was intrigued by Sesko until he decided to stay. You know,
I think that was a smart move, though. If I'm completely honest, I think he needs another year or two at Leipzig.
Yeah, he needs another. So it's a smart move out of the other guy at Lisbon. I don't want him because he was playing at Coventry a couple of years ago. Why am I gonna? No,
I think he's good for you. Gokeres.
It was at Coventry, bruv, the season before last. If he was that good, a big club would have snapped him up. Then
I'll come back to you on that. I'm gonna let Bevan speak, but I'll come back to you if he's that good. Go on.
Yeah, he does. So I mean, I don't watch the Portuguese league, so I can't really speak on it. But he's very young, and he does look, from what I see, from you see on clips and stuff like that, it does look kind of raw. But I think that could be somebody that I don't know how much is he really gonna. You might take a.
You're looking at 60 million.
You're looking at 60.
Yeah, but you bear in mind he scored league alone. He got 29 goals in 33 games, and then in Europe he got 5 goals in 9 games, and then he got 3 goals in 2 cup games. And going back to what Daniel said in terms of where he was playing, look at Salah. Everyone thought Salah was washed up, but True. Liverpool didn't. Liverpool brought Salah in after playing at Roma, Fiorentina and Roma, and he scored 44 goals in his first season. I think Gyökeres would be a really good for you, personally. He's at the right age as well.
I'll entertain it. Let's see. The figures that I'm hearing are closer. I think it's the figures that are putting me off.
Is it? What are you hearing?
I'm hearing it's closer to about 90 million euros.
Is it?
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's the figures, then I can understand why you'd want to push back and say no.
I would want. He just left Coventry just 2023.
That is Premier League tax, boy. 90 million.
And he's 20. He's
26.
Physically, he's 26.
He's 26.
He's 26, and they bought him for, I think, 13 million.
Yeah, they wanted
12 million. He had offers for the Premier League last summer, but he chose to go to Sporting. But Anyone else? I'm thinking Loris Openda. That's someone who I thought would fit your system from Leipzig, Belgian youngster. Scored everywhere he's been. Been in France, been in Germany. I think he was even Belgian as well. Everywhere he's gone. Yeah, he obviously started in Belgium. That's where he's from.
I haven't seen enough of him
Okay.
to be honest.
Yeah.
A player that I know that I do like and I do want, and I think we would improve him a lot. He's a bit raw at the moment, but I like Onana. I
Okay.
like Onana.
Yeah, I feel like Daniel's been reading my notes. Yeah, no, yeah. I was gonna say as a replacement for Thomas Partey, I think Onana would be good at Everton, and they have got massive problems with FFP, so we could do the ugly thing and hold him to ransom.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's an ugly world we live in, and I'm trying to live in it.
So they're cheating anyway. When you see what they're doing to get out of it, players that are worth 2 million are selling for 20. So it's mad what they're doing right now. But yeah, before we go, any last players that you guys would like to see this summer? If not, we'll close up.
I haven't really got anyone off the top of my head, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I think
Go
what
on.
we'll see. I think in our heads, all the Arsenal fans want, a new number 9. They want another centre midfielder, and they want a replacement for Saka, and they want another fullback. The reality is, I think we'll sign maybe 2 players, 2, 3. I don't think we're going to go crazy as well, because apparently we're skating on thin ice with FFP.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're skating, so
that's why you couldn't sign the goalkeeper last season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to let a couple of players go, get that in order first.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your efforts this evening. It's been a bit longer, but you survived it. You survived it.
That was good, man. I liked it.
No, thanks. Yeah, no, thanks. It was good, man. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Cool. No worries. There'll be more as the season, as preseason goes on and as the season goes on. There'll be more appearances, I'm sure, if you are willing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thanks again. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and subscribe. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.